For many older adults managing type 2 diabetes, taking medication is a regular part of daily life. Whether it's metformin, insulin, or another glucose-lowering prescription, these medications are powerful tools to help keep blood sugar levels stable and reduce the risk of long-term complications. But here's something that's often overlooked. When you take your medication can be just as important as what you take. That's right. Medication timing plays a critical role in how well your body processes glucose. If your blood sugar stays high despite being consistent with your medication, your timing may be off. Taking medicine too early, too late, or without considering meals, activity, or sleep can quietly interfere with your body's ability to respond to insulin and regulate glucose properly. Over time, these timing mistakes can lead to frustrating blood sugar spikes, morning highs, or even dangerous lows, making diabetes harder to manage than it needs to be. This is especially important for seniors, whose bodies may metabolize medications differently due to age-related changes in digestion, kidney function, and daily routine. What worked 10 years ago may no longer be ideal today. Yet many people take their medication out of habit without realizing that even small adjustments to timing could greatly improve blood sugar control and overall energy levels. In today's video, we're going to highlight 5 common medication timing mistakes that could be working against your diabetes management goals. These are easy to overlook, but can have a big impact on your daily numbers and long-term health. We'll walk you through each one and explain what to do instead so you can make the most of the medicine you're already taking. If you've ever felt like you're doing everything right, but still can't seem to keep your glucose steady, your medication schedule might be the missing piece. Let's take a closer look at the timing traps to avoid and how adjusting the clock can help you feel better, stay balanced, and live more confidently with diabetes. Number 1, taking blood sugar medication without considering meal timing. One of the most easily overlooked yet critically important habits in managing blood sugar, especially for seniors, is the timing of diabetes medications in relation to meals. This might sound like a small detail, but for older adults managing type 2 diabetes, it can make the difference between a stable day and a cascade of energy crashes, dizziness, or dangerous spikes in blood glucose levels. Unfortunately, this is a mistake that's all too common, and one that can quietly derail even the most well-intentioned health routine. Many diabetes medications are designed to work hand in hand with the way your body processes food. Medications like metformin, sulfonylureas, and especially fast-acting insulin are most effective when they are taken at very specific times, either right before a meal, during a meal, or in some cases, shortly afterward. The idea is simple. These medications help your body manage the surge of glucose that naturally occurs when you eat. But if the medication is taken too early, say 30 minutes or more before eating, it can trigger insulin activity before any sugar has entered the bloodstream, leading to hypoglycemia. Conversely, if it's taken too late, after your meal has already begun to digest, the medication may not be able to curb the post-meal spike in time, leaving you with unusually high blood sugar levels for hours. Consider the case of 77-year-old Helen Walsh from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, a thoughtful and health-conscious woman who made a very human mistake. Every morning, Helen took her metformin as soon as she got out of bed. She believed this was the responsible thing to do, taking it early so she wouldn't forget. But within an hour or so, she would start feeling shaky, foggy, and unusually tired, even though she hadn't done anything strenuous. Her morning blood sugar levels began to drop below her normal range, sometimes low enough to be concerning. After weeks of this cycle, Helen decided to speak with a certified diabetes educator. Together, they walked through her daily routine, meal patterns, and medication schedule. That's when they discovered the issue. Helen was taking her metformin too early, often 30 to 45 minutes before her actual breakfast. With a simple adjustment, taking the medication with her first bite of breakfast rather than before, Helen noticed a dramatic change. Within just a few days, her morning energy returned, the shakiness disappeared, and her blood sugar levels stabilized. "I thought I was doing the right thing," she reflected, "but I didn't realize timing it with food made such a difference." Helen's story is not unique. Many seniors take their medications out of routine rather than in response to their body's actual rhythms. This isn't a failure. It's simply a misunderstanding that can be corrected. And the results, as Helen experienced, can be life-changing. To avoid this common pitfall, it's crucial to know whether your diabetes medication should be taken with food, before meals, or on an empty stomach. Instructions can vary widely depending on the medication and the formulation. For instance, extended-release versions of some drugs may require different timing than their immediate-release counterparts. If the prescription label is specific, don't guess. Take the time to ask your pharmacist or healthcare provider. They can offer guidance tailored to your eating habits and daily routine. Even small adjustments, like taking your pill 10 or 15 minutes later or aligning it with your first bite, can lead to more consistent blood sugar control, fewer unwanted side effects, and a smoother day overall. This is especially important for seniors who are managing multiple medications and might already feel overwhelmed by complex routines. Meal timing and medication timing are like dance partners. They need to move together in sync to avoid stepping on each other's toes. When they do, your energy levels are steadier, your risk of sudden highs or lows is reduced, and your medications are more likely to do their job effectively. So the next time you reach for your blood sugar medication, don't just look at the clock. Think about your plate. The connection between the two is more powerful than many people realize. Making this one change could be the key to unlocking better control, more confidence in your routine, and a healthier, more comfortable day. Number 2, skipping or delaying medication after a missed dose. One of the most overlooked yet impactful medication mistakes among older adults with type 2 diabetes is skipping or delaying a dose after it's been missed. While forgetting a medication occasionally may seem harmless, how you respond to that missed dose can significantly influence your blood sugar levels and your overall health. Life happens. A sudden phone call, a change in routine, or even a nap that lasts longer than planned. But when you have a condition like diabetes, timing is everything. Many diabetes medications, including short-acting insulin, sulfonylureas, and even commonly prescribed metformin, are designed to work most effectively when taken at consistent intervals. These medications rely on a steady routine to maintain balanced glucose levels in the bloodstream. Missing a dose can cause your blood sugar to rise beyond target levels, potentially putting you at risk for hyperglycemia. Conversely, attempting to make up for a missed dose too close to the next scheduled one can cause a dangerous drop in blood sugar, hypoglycemia, which is particularly hazardous for older adults who may not recognize or react quickly to the symptoms. Let's take a look at a real-world example. Harold Dixon, a 74-year-old retiree from Billings, Montana, has managed his type 2 diabetes for nearly a decade. One afternoon, while enjoying a day out with family, Harold forgot to take his lunchtime dose of medication. Hours later, around dinner, he remembered. Thinking he could catch up, Harold took the missed lunchtime dose immediately. Then, an hour later, took his regular dinner dose as usual. That night, Harold experienced sudden dizziness, profuse sweating, and confusion. Fortunately, his daughter recognized the signs of low blood sugar and quickly gave him a glass of orange juice and glucose tablets. He stabilized, but it was a wake-up call. "I thought I was correcting a small mistake," Harold later shared. "But I didn't know I was putting myself in real danger." After a follow-up with his healthcare provider, Harold learned that when a dose is significantly delayed, especially near the time of the next scheduled one, it's often safer to skip it entirely and continue with the regular routine. Taking both doses too close together had overwhelmed his system and caused the dangerous dip in blood sugar. This kind of scenario isn't uncommon. Many seniors are unsure what to do when they miss a dose, and without proper guidance, their best intentions can lead to harmful outcomes. That's why it's essential not to guess. If you miss a dose, the safest approach is to consult your medication's instructions or contact your healthcare provider. Some medications may allow for delayed dosing with food, while others are best skipped entirely if it's too close to the next scheduled time. In addition to knowing what to do when a dose is missed, prevention is equally important. Establishing a routine around medication can dramatically reduce the chance of forgetting. Simple strategies like setting alarm reminders on your phone, using a daily pill organizer, or linking medication times to regular habits, such as brushing your teeth or meal times, can be incredibly effective. For tech-savvy seniors, there are even apps specifically designed to send medication alerts and track doses. The bottom line: consistency is crucial in diabetes care. It's not just about taking your medication, but taking it on time, every time. How you handle a missed dose may seem like a small decision in the moment, but it can have big consequences for your blood sugar balance and your long-term health. The more prepared and informed you are, the more empowered you'll feel, and the more stable your diabetes management will become, even when life throws your routine off course. So remember, don't panic, don't guess, and don't double up. Instead, reach out, read the label, and return to your routine with confidence. 3. Taking all medications at once without considering their timing needs. Many older adults, especially those managing chronic conditions like type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, and cholesterol, find themselves juggling multiple medications each day. To keep things simple, it might seem logical to group all pills into a single morning or evening routine. But while that approach may feel convenient, it can quietly sabotage the effectiveness of your treatment and even lead to harmful consequences, particularly when it comes to blood sugar control. The truth is, not all medications work the same way, and certainly not all of them are meant to be taken at the same time. Each medication has a specific mechanism of action and an optimal time to be taken for maximum benefit and minimal risk. Ignoring this can lead to issues like inconsistent blood sugar levels, fatigue, dizziness, or even dangerous drug interactions. For example, fast-acting diabetes medications like sulfonylureas or rapid-acting insulin are designed to lower blood sugar around mealtimes. Taking them without food or at a time far from your meals can cause your blood sugar to plummet, leaving you shaky, confused, or faint. On the other hand, long-acting insulin or blood pressure medications are often more effective when taken at consistent times each day, such as early in the morning or right before bed, depending on the medication and the individual's blood pressure pattern. Let's take a closer look at the real-life story of 82-year-old Gladys Romero from Mesa, Arizona. Like many seniors, Gladys had a daily pill organizer divided into morning and evening slots. She would diligently take her full set of medications right after breakfast and again before bedtime, believing that the most important thing was simply to not miss a dose. But she started experiencing strange patterns: afternoon episodes of fatigue and confusion, followed by high blood sugar readings later at night. After bringing up these symptoms during a routine checkup, her care team did a full medication review. What they found was eye-opening. Gladys was taking her short-acting diabetes medication at the same time as her long-acting insulin in the morning. This caused her blood sugar to drop too low a few hours after breakfast and then spike in the evening when the insulin's effects were tapering off. By adjusting her schedule, taking the fast-acting medication 10 to 15 minutes before each meal and administering her long-acting insulin every night at exactly 9 p.m., her blood sugar became far more stable throughout the day and night. "I didn't know timing made such a difference," she shared. "I thought as long as I took it, I was doing it right." This story highlights an important but often overlooked truth. Even medications that treat the same condition might need to be spaced apart to avoid overlapping effects or gaps in coverage. And if you're taking medications for different conditions, like blood pressure or cholesterol, the timing may differ even more significantly. For instance, certain blood pressure medications taken at night can reduce the risk of early morning cardiovascular events, which are more common in older adults. That's why regular medication reviews are so important, especially as your prescriptions change or your daily routine shifts. Your pharmacist or healthcare provider can help map out a personalized medication schedule that fits not only your health needs, but also your lifestyle and meal habits. They can also identify any drugs that may be interacting with one another or with your food without you even realizing it. While simplifying your routine has its benefits, it shouldn't come at the cost of effectiveness or safety. With just a bit of planning and guidance, you can turn your medication routine into a powerful tool for stability, energy, and peace of mind. Don't hesitate to ask your healthcare team, "Am I taking these at the right time?" It could make all the difference in your journey to better health. 4. Not timing insulin or rapid-acting medications correctly with meals. Among the many challenges of managing type 2 diabetes, one of the most often overlooked but critically important mistakes is mistiming insulin or rapid-acting glucose-lowering medications in relation to meals. These medications are specifically designed to help the body handle the predictable rise in blood sugar that occurs after eating. However, for them to work effectively and safely, they must be taken at just the right moment. A difference of just 10 to 30 minutes in timing can determine whether your blood sugar stays in range or swings too high or too low. Rapid-acting insulin and similar medications begin working almost immediately after injection or ingestion, typically within 10 to 15 minutes, and peak soon after. This quick onset is meant to mimic the body's natural insulin response. However, if you administer these medications too early, say 30 minutes before you eat, you risk lowering your blood sugar before the food has been digested and absorbed. This mismatch can lead to hypoglycemia, a dangerous drop in blood sugar that can cause symptoms like shakiness, dizziness, confusion, and even fainting. On the other hand, taking these medications too late after you've already eaten or even halfway through your meal means they may not be able to act quickly enough to blunt the post-meal glucose spike. In that case, your blood sugar may rise higher than expected and stay elevated for hours. This not only leaves you feeling tired and sluggish, but also contributes to long-term complications like nerve damage, kidney strain, and cardiovascular problems. Let's take a closer look at a real-life example that illustrates the importance of proper timing. Milton Green, a 79-year-old retired carpenter from Eugene, Oregon, had been prescribed a rapid-acting insulin to use before meals. For months, Milton believed he was following instructions. He would inject his insulin just before sitting down at the table, sometimes even after taking a few bites. Despite his efforts to eat well and take his medications faithfully, his post-meal glucose readings remained stubbornly high. He felt frustrated, thinking he was doing everything right but still couldn't reach his targets. It wasn't until a follow-up appointment with his diabetes educator that Milton learned the crucial detail he had been missing. For his particular insulin, the optimal timing was about 10 to 15 minutes before the first bite of food. This brief delay gave the insulin time to start working just as the carbohydrates from his meal began to enter his bloodstream. Once Milton made this simple adjustment to his routine, his numbers improved dramatically. Just getting the timing right made it so much easier, he said with relief. It's like my insulin finally caught up with my food. Milton's experience is not unique. Many older adults, especially those who are newly diagnosed or managing multiple medications, are never clearly told how timing affects treatment. It's easy to assume that taking the medicine is enough. But with fast-acting diabetes treatments, when you take them is just as important as how much you take. To avoid this common mistake, it's essential to have a clear, personalized plan. Ask your healthcare provider or diabetes educator exactly when to take your insulin or medication in relation to your meals. Some formulations are best taken 15 minutes before eating, while others may be taken immediately before. And if your meal is unusually small, high in fat, or delayed for any reason, you may need to make timing adjustments accordingly. Moreover, if you're not feeling well, eating less than usual, or changing your physical activity, let your provider know. These changes can affect how your body responds to the medication and may increase the risk of hypoglycemia. For seniors especially, getting this timing right can significantly improve quality of life. Stable blood sugar levels lead to more consistent energy, better mood, and clearer thinking. And more importantly, it gives you confidence. When your medications and your meals are working in harmony, you gain back a sense of control, something that can make daily diabetes management feel far less overwhelming. 5. Ignoring the best time of day for certain long-acting medications. Among the most overlooked yet critical mistakes in diabetes management, especially for seniors, is taking long-acting medications at the wrong time of day. While the importance of proper dosing is often emphasized, timing is equally vital, particularly for drugs like long-acting insulin, extended-release metformin, and once-daily oral medications. These medications are designed to work in sync with the body's natural circadian rhythms, and taking them too early or too late can throw off their effectiveness, leading to unstable blood sugar levels, especially during the night and early morning. Unlike fast-acting insulin or short-term medications that are usually taken around meals, long-acting medications are meant to provide a steady release of support over many hours. However, this benefit only holds if they are administered during the right window. The body's insulin requirements vary throughout the day and night, and certain physiological patterns, like the dawn phenomenon, can make glucose control more complicated if timing is ignored. The dawn phenomenon refers to a natural rise in blood sugar that occurs in the early morning, usually between 4 a.m. and 8 a.m., triggered by hormonal changes such as increased cortisol and growth hormone. These hormones promote insulin resistance and glucose release from the liver. If your long-acting insulin or medication wears off before this hormonal surge begins, say because you took it too early in the evening, your fasting glucose levels may rise despite overall good management during the day. Conversely, if you take your medication too late at night, its peak activity might occur when you don't need it as much, missing the opportunity to stabilize your blood sugar during critical early morning hours. Let's take the real-life example of 80-year-old Marcia Douglas from Pensacola, Florida. For years, Marcia had been taking her long-acting insulin around 6:30 p.m., right after dinner. It was a habit rooted in routine rather than medical advice. However, despite being consistent with her dosage and diet, her fasting glucose readings each morning remained stubbornly high. Frustrated and puzzled, she brought it up with her endocrinologist. After reviewing her blood sugar patterns, they decided to shift her injection time to 10 p.m., just before she went to bed. The results were almost immediate. Within 2 weeks, her fasting glucose levels dropped by nearly 30 points on average, and she began waking up feeling more rested and clear-headed. "I had no idea the time made such a difference," she said. but just moving it a few hours made everything fall into place. Marcia's experience underscores a key lesson. Just because a medication is labeled once daily doesn't mean you can take it at any time of day without consequence. There's often a strategic window where the medication can provide maximum benefit, and that window depends on your lifestyle, sleep habits, meal patterns, and how your body responds to glucose throughout the day and night. This is especially important for older adults whose sleep patterns and insulin sensitivity may differ significantly from younger individuals. Seniors may also process medications more slowly or experience exaggerated side effects if timing is off. Therefore, it's not just about taking your pills or injections once a day. It's about taking them at the right time each day. If you're unsure about when to take your long-acting medications, don't hesitate to ask your healthcare provider or pharmacist. They can help tailor a schedule based on your unique daily rhythm and health needs. Some medications may even be more effective when taken with or without food or at bedtime versus upon waking. By aligning your medication schedule with your body's natural rhythms, you give your treatments the best chance to work effectively. This small adjustment can lead to smoother overnight glucose levels, healthier morning readings, and greater overall control of your diabetes. In the long run, this translates into fewer complications, more energy, and better quality of life. So remember, timing isn't just about convenience, it's about optimizing your health. As we've seen throughout this video, managing type 2 diabetes isn't just about what medication you take, it's also about when you take it. From coordinating doses with meals to knowing how to respond to a missed pill, to understanding when your long-acting insulin works best, each of these timing mistakes can quietly chip away at your progress. Or, when corrected, make glucose control feel smoother, steadier, and more predictable. For older adults, being mindful of medication timing can reduce blood sugar spikes, avoid dangerous lows, and help you feel more energized and in control each day. These small changes often don't require new prescriptions or drastic lifestyle shifts. Just a clearer understanding of how your medication works and when your body needs it most. If today's video helped you identify a habit worth adjusting, don't hesitate to bring it up at your next doctor's visit. Your healthcare provider or pharmacist can offer tailored guidance based on your personal schedule, meal timing, and medication list. And remember, even seemingly minor tweaks, like shifting a pill by 30 minutes or syncing insulin with your largest meal, can lead to meaningful improvements in your blood sugar stability and overall well-being. Now we'd love to hear from you. Have you ever discovered that changing your medication timing improved your diabetes control? Or are there questions you still have about getting the timing right? Share your experience or ask your questions in the comments below. Your story might help someone else on the same journey. And if you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to ActiveHealthCare, your go-to source for senior-focused health advice, nutrition tips, and practical strategies for living well with diabetes and beyond. Until next time, take your medications wisely, trust your body, and remember, the right timing can make all the difference.